All right, there's a rat's nest of wiring. Removed. So now we're going to get started on the new harness. All right, so now we'll get started on the new harness. It's got the same idea here going. Currently, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set this guy over my shoulder so we can talk here. Okay. So here's what we got going on. This car does not have a heater box in it right now, so I'm not gonna drill a hole in the firewall because I don't know if we're gonna put vintage air or what. All I'm going to do for the time being is I'm going to drop the computer through the firewall right there. Real simple, real easy. And then just plug all this stuff up. It should go very smoothly. Considering I've already had an LS harness in it before, the only thing we're going to have to do is we'll have to make a switch power to come from the fuse box over to the mini fuse block, which is right here over my shoulder. Here's a mini fuse block and a couple other wires. So we'll have to make a wire for that, and then we'll have to ground this thing to the firewall dash something. Probably just ground it where I've got this other one grounded at this moment, and then just hook it all up. So here we go. We'll get you back in. Alright, harness installation time. Looks like a mess, doesn't it? It's really not that bad. So here we go. We're going to just take this whole wad right here, and we'll stick it to the... What was that? Shouldn't be something else I'd asked right there, should there? This is the fuse box wires. Oh, this is the O2, not O2 sensor, OBD port. So, I didn't realize I didn't have it in my hand. So we're going to take this whole wad of wire right here, and we're just going to drop it through the fuse box, through the heater box hole. All at one time. Just kind of. I'm going to take this harness right here. We know this is the driver's side because the driver's side has a 12 position all in it. We'll go ahead and start at the front and work our way backwards. Well, we know what this one and this one is, so we can just tuck them to the front because I don't have them up here right now. So we're just going to tuck them over this radiator hose for the moment. And then the next ones are alternator. Easy enough. There's the alternator. It's already here. All we gotta do is plug it in. There, find the plug. There it is. Boom. Alternator's plugged in. And second, we have this one here. This is a 4-pin connector. This should be a throttle position sensor. Plugs right in. This is a triangle 3-pin connector. That's I always forget what that thing's called. It's called a map sensor. Actually, I want to go ahead and correct myself. The 4-pin connector is the idle air control valve. The 3-pin connector is the throttle position sensor. I apologize. Now, we have this one. This is a water temp sensor. It tucks down behind the alternator. As this harness gets pulled back in place, then I'll actually plug him in. Actually, then we'll go and plug it in now. Not that big of a deal. Pull all this kind of tight. Nope. We're actually going to unplug everything. Because what we're going to do is we're going to feed this harness under the fuel rail. So, now we will go grab the injector connectors. Okay. So now what we're doing is we're going to use an adapter, which we talked about already. I guess they were scared they were going to get wet. I could have bagged them all in one bag. Alright, so here's what it does. It goes from a, this might be the wrong injector adapter. Let's see here. It also might not be the wrong injector adapter. We'll see. Alright, well, I'm going to go look over here. I have a set, I think, still left over from another harness I did. Okay, so here's the deal. I didn't send the correct adapters for these, so my options are now to see if I can find the correct adapters or change the injectors. I have another set of injectors on that other intake over there. I'm going to look up and see what their cost and when they'll be here. They shouldn't be really expensive, but I do need them, so I will get back to you in just a minute. Alrighty, so what they've done is they sent me the injectors for the later model truck, which I don't know the number or part number of those injectors, but I believe they're the flex fuel injectors, so they're a little big. The plug's bigger, and pretty much everything's different about it. But we'll get a set ordered. They'll be here in a day or so. They're coming from Amazon. Like I said before, it is what it is. We'll continue working on this thing as far as we can get it done. So all that'll be left is the injectors. Alright, so now to continue where we were, so there's those. It's looking pretty good so far. We'll probably remove this stupid thing now. Alright, so coil is next. One of the easiest plugs on the motor because it's one of the biggest ones. Can't really screw it up. And if you know what side of the motor you're on, you're not going to screw it up. But if you don't know what side of the motor you're on, you could potentially screw it up again, as I have. Alright, so now put that right there. Alrighty here. Now we have this harness here. Kind of tucks in right here. It should tuck down behind the intake right there. So I'll have to climb on in here. We're not going to climb in. Really pick all these up because they're incorrect for what we're doing. Alright, and that's the base harness installed. All I've got left now is no true sensor on that side, no true sensor on this side, and a crankshaft sensor and the trans plug. And that won't be any fun for y'all to watch because I'll just be under the car. So I'll give you a quick look. This is not perfect because I don't have the injectors hooked up right now, but it'll give you a dang good idea of what we got going. So here is the coil. All the injectors are going to run right down here. When we're ready for them, I'll have them just kind of barely flipped over, something like this, here over the rail, and then they'll plug right in because we're going to use those little adapters on them. I mean, that actually cleans up a bunch of that wiring dust. It looked really bad. It cleans up all the mess that was right here. I'll actually be able to mount this harness back where it belongs now. It moves the OBD port in the car with the harness. Computer will be in the car. I think that cleans it up a ton. So I think that's a lot nicer. I really do. I like it a lot better, and I'm gonna have to mount this somewhere. I don't know why it's not being friendly right now. This needs to be mounted though, probably like right there. Make sure we stay out of that hood hinge. And we can pull these other two wires through because it's quite obvious that we're not going to need them. That's a fuel pump lead. I'll probably end up running a new one of those, I guess. That's okay. So here we go. That's where I've made it so far. I'll bring y'all back once I get them harness plugs in. We'll continue from there. As some of you know, there's where we made it on the other project we've been working on. Just a little quick sneak peek. yeah, I'm excited. I hope y'all are too. Later. Alrighty, and we're back for the Chevelle. So here's what we got. It's a little dark in here. I might need to get a light. Alrighty, so we got us a light. Now we'll run over here. Alright, so here's what we got. You got the motor put back together. You got all the harness in. We use these little connectors right here on the fuel rails. So here's a fuel injector. It runs over and adapts in to the LS to truck injector plug right here. There that is. And we just got him tucked and ran in behind the fuel rail. So I can't get it to hide now. Come on, there we go. Tuck it back down in there. Okay, behind the harness. All right, so there's where we're at. I mean, it looks pretty nice actually. For an old truck intake and all, the only wires we got now is these. The only wires we have now are these, the alternator and fuel pump lead, which I'm pretty happy with. So now we just see the, like I said, you just see the alternator and fuel pump lead here. They come over here. This will be for fans right here. That'll be a different video down the road. Here's our fan relay sitting right here. They're not installed yet. So let's see here. I don't know if I've cranked this thing on video with this harness yet or not. So here we go. Alright, and we're back. So here we are. Back with a Chevelle. You may or may not remember. And if you're watching this video, I guess you all remember. We did the new harness install and got it running, moved it outside. It was not running very well. It wasn't very happy at all. So what I did is I called the computer tuner, which is the same guy that did the previous wiring harness. You go figure. And he basically told me to kiss his butt and that he wasn't going to fix the problem. So I called another computer tuner and had him send me a computer out. It shouldn't be very hard to tune a bone stock 5.3. I mean, it really shouldn't. I'm probably going to get some HP tuners and start doing it myself. But bone stock 5.3, will it run? What do y'all think? Better than it ever has. Transmission. And for those who are wondering, yeah, we have first gear now, which we did not have before. Let's see here. Open this guy here, search for some codes, hit the nested trouble codes. Oh, shish kebabs, I can't see what I'm doing. Let's go. That should be diagnostics. That should be scan for codes. As you see, there is none. Which before, I'll put a picture up, there was plenty. Plenty. Alright, when you do it right when you do it right, you do it right, I guess. So, and I've had it running a little bit today. Let's see, where's our water temp at right now? What's that say? 75 degrees Celsius. And we're looking for about 98-ish is 210, I think. So, you know, we're not running hot by no means. Have fantastic oil pressure. There you go. There's the video.